The Piazza Navona has been called the most picturesque square in Rome and one of the liveliest. Visitors and Romans alike relax in one of the piazza's famous cafes, watching the play of the three fountains and the throngs of people who pass through the square. The Piazza Navona originated as a stadium, completed in AD 86 for athletic events during the reign of the Roman Emperor Domitian. The current piazza preserves the form of the ancient stadium, which could have seated 30,000 spectators. For centuries, the piazza has been a center of Roman life. It was a marketplace from 1477 to 1869. From the 1600s to the late 1800s, the square was flooded every August weekend for the entertainment of the Romans. Today, religious statues are sold in the piazza during the Christmas season, and a fair and toy market is held annually during Epiphany. The piazza is dominated by its three beautiful fountains. The central fountain, called the Fountain of the Four Rivers, is the only fountain designed by the famous Italian artist Gian Lorenzo Bernini. Within the group of rocks and grottos are large allegorical figures representing the rivers Danube, Ganges, Nile, and Plate, representing Europe, Asia, Africa, and America. The figures were carved by Bernini's pupils. The obelisk was created in ancient Egypt and brought to Rome by Domitian. The fountain at the north end of the piazza represents the Roman sea god Neptune battling a sea monster. The fountain also displays sea deities called Nereides and seahorses. The Maro fountain at the south end of the piazza was created in 1575 and altered by Bernini in 1653. Bernini designed the central figure known as Il Moro, or the Moor, holding a dolphin. On the west side of the piazza is the Church of Sant'Agnese in Agoni, with its splendid dome. The church is dedicated to St. Agnes, who was believed to have been martyred in the 300s. Although altered over time, the church walls originally formed part of the substructure of Domitian's Stadium. The concave church facade was begun in the 1650s by the famous Italian architect Francesco Borromini. South of the church is the Pamphile Palace, completed by Borromini for Pope Innocent X in the mid-1600s. The palace is now the Brazilian embassy.